Breakers 3-3-3, 12 points on the season. They are in 5th place in the NWSL right now, while SkyBlue, they are tied at the top of the standings at 7-2-1, 22 points on the season, and they are tied with the Portland Thorns, who are actually in action right now. They are at halftime against Seattle. Scoreless there, Portland and Seattle, so we'll keep you up to date on that match as we go along. We'll also try to get you a score from Chicago and FC Kansas City. Last check, it was 3-1. The Red Stars were on top of FC Kansas City. So we're a couple of minutes away from the broadcast, the start of the game here today. We have the broadcast already going. And let's get through the starting lineups for the two teams here today, and they are brought to you by TCG Network Services. We'll take a look first at the visiting SkyBlue FC. They're 4-1-0 on the road this season, and they run a 4-3-3 on defense for SkyBlue. They have number 2, Coco Goodson, number 4, Caitlin Ford, number 5, Kendall Johnson, and number 25, Madeline Thompson. In the midfield, it's number 6, Taylor Lytle, number 17, Katie Friels, number 22, Manya Makowski. And the forwards for SkyBlue, number 8, Monica Ocampo, number 9, Denisha Adams, and number 11, Lisa Devanna. We mentioned Adams and Devanna each had a pair of goals in the 5-1 SkyBlue victory over the Breakers back on June the 1st. And in goal today for SkyBlue, making her 11th start in 11 games for SkyBlue, it is Brittany Cameron. She has a 7-2-1 record. She's made a league-high 38 saves this season, a 0.8 goals against average for Cameron. She has 5 shutouts thus far to lead the NWSL on the season, so a tall task for the Breakers offense here today. Now looking at the Boston Breakers starting 11, they go 4-3-3 as well. On the defensive line, number 4, Kat Whitehill, number 8, Julie King, 14, Kia McNeil, and number 25, Joe Dragata. In the midfield, number 11, Joanna Lohman, and we have number 18, Maddie Evans, one of the call-ups with the international players away, getting her first start of the season, playing in her second game. And also number 20, Mariah Noguera in the midfield. Forwards are number 10, Leanne Sanderson, number 12, Katie Shepfer, and then number 17, Kaya Simon. She's making her 9th appearance of the season and her 4th start, and that's in the absence of both Sydney LaRue and Heather O'Reilly. Goalkeeper tonight for the Breakers, number 24, Ashley Phillips. She'll be making her 7th start. She is 1-2-3 on the season, 1.8 goals against average for Phillips on the season. So SkyBlue and the Breakers mentioned no LaRue, no O'Reilly for the Breakers. Also, no Adriana Leone and no Rian Wilkinson as they are with Team Canada. The Canadian national team, they'll play Wednesday against Germany, so that's where Leone and Wilkinson will be. Meanwhile, we had LaRue and O'Reilly were not too far away yesterday playing South Korea at Gillette Stadium, a 4-1 victory for the Breakers, for Team USA, the U.S. national team in that one. And they'll also be playing again this coming, it is Thursday, I believe, June the 20th. They're playing down at Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey. It's a 7:30 kickoff there, and you can actually watch that one on some national television. I know yesterday's game wasn't televised, unfortunately, but a chance later on in the week to see some of the U.S. national players and see Sydney LaRue and Heather O'Reilly. And for SkyBlue, they are without a couple of key players as well. As you look at their roster, they're without their team captain and the U.S. national team's team captain, Christy Rampone. Also missing Sophie Schmidt, who is with the Canadian national team, and Kelly O'Hara with the U.S. national team, as well as goalkeeper Jill Lloyden, not with SkyBlue here tonight as well. So some players missing on both sides, but they've had this situation already a couple of times, so we still expect a pretty good matchup here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the Boston Breakers starting 4 with Whitehill, King, McNeil, and Dragata, those 4 have worked together before. You know, the defense kind of shifts between those 4 and Wilkinson. So those, they'll have their hands full with Adams and Devanna and Friels, but it's going to be a great game, and hopefully the Breakers can step up, and some of these players that haven't gotten as many minutes will get a chance to show what they're made of.
And one of the things that we're going to talk about as the game goes on is you see without Sydney LaRue and without Heather O'Reilly, we'll see how players like Maddie Evans and Kaya Simon are able to step into the lineup and see how maybe that changes the offense. And that brings us to our next new portion of the broadcast. we'd like you to get involved with us on Twitter, for those of you on Twitter. So if you want to get in contact with the broadcast here, everybody here in the press box, you can tweet out using the hashtag BreakersTV. I believe we'll have it up on the screen during the broadcast here today. So if you want to interact with us here, hashtag BreakersTV. Question, there you see it's up there on the screen for you. Questions, comments, any type of information you want to pass along, feel free to send it. And maybe we'll have your question answered on the air. We already got a few questions in, so we'll try to get to those as the game goes on. But for now, we will take a break, pause for the national anthem, and when we come back, we'll get you your injury report and have the starting kickoff, the opening kickoff, the Breakers and SkyBlue FC here tonight at Dilboy Stadium.
Number 25, Joe Dragata. The head coach of the Breakers is Lisa Cole. Assistant coach is Mary Rojas. And goalkeeping coach Jim Hamilton. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay on your feet and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back. It is time for our injury report, brought to you by Sonocyte, the official ultrasound of the Boston Breakers. Tonight, for the Breakers, we just have one injury, Bianca D'Agostino. She is out for the whole season with the ACL, and that's been something that the Breakers have dealt with all year long. Joe Dragata's really stepped up in that outside back position. And then on the other side, Brittany Bach for SkyBlue FC has a fractured left arm, so she will not be in the game today. And as Scott already mentioned in the beginning of the broadcast, both teams are without their United States and Canadian national team players. So that's O'Reilly, LaRue, Leon, and Wilkinson for the Breakers, and Christy Rampone, Kelly O'Hara, Jill Lloyden, and Sophie Schmidt for SkyBlue.
All right, thank you very much, Maddie. Just a couple of moments away from the opening kickoff. The Breakers in SkyBlue FC. Again, Breakers a 3-3-3 record, 12 points, fifth in the standings. SkyBlue FC tied for first with 22 points, 7-2-1 on the year. Breakers 2-0-2 at home. SkyBlue 4-1-0 on the road. These two teams matched up back on June the 1st with SkyBlue winning in convincing fashion 5-1. Pair of goals each from Lisa Devanna and Denisha Adams. Adriana Leone had the goal in that game for the Breakers, but again, as we've repeated now a couple of times, not here with the team, as she is on international duty with the Canadian national team as they play at Germany on Wednesday. And the U.S. national team will play South Korea once again on Thursday. That'll be played in Harrison, New Jersey at Red Bull Arena. And they just beat South Korea yesterday in front of 13,035 up at Gillette Stadium, not too far away from Dilboy Stadium. Had goals in that game by Christy Mewis, Lauren Cheney, Carly Lloyd, and Abby Wambach. And big deal for Christy Mewis, too, being a Hanson, Massachusetts native, able to score her first international goal in front of some hometown fans. So the two teams out onto the field. The Breakers will be in their home blues, moving left to right. And in the white jerseys will be SkyBlue FC attacking right to left. We thank you for joining us. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Media Boss Television. Overcast skies, a little muggy though. It's in the 70s most of the day. Probably pretty good conditions to play in.
Yeah, not too hot. It's nice out. It's not too sunny, not blinding. So, you know, the fans are not covering their eyes either. It should be great conditions for the players out there.
Just waiting for the opening whistle, and we are underway. SkyBlue with possession to begin tonight's match. As they work it on the back line right now. Coming to the near side, Kendall Johnson, right at midfield. That's headed away by Maddie Evans. And the Breakers take their first possession. See how Evans does in her first start of the season. Dragata trying to chip it ahead. Sanderson can't get to it. It's cleared out off the foot of Coco Goodson, so a throw in deep there for the Breakers.
The Breakers are looking to get on the board early because that's what SkyBlue did against them in the last matchup, and you know Boston wasn't able to come back from that. So the first goal is going to really set the tone for this entire match.
Sanderson tried to sneak one through to Lohman there, but it got played out by SkyBlue. And Breakers will reset it. Whitehill to King. Down the seam, trying to connect with Kaya Simon. Sanderson able to track it down momentarily, taken away by Devanna. And it goes out for a throw-in. Breakers are winless in their last three. They did tie back on June the 5th, their last matchup here against Western New York, 2-2, but that felt like a loss, with Western New York scoring in the final moments, really the final seconds of stoppage time. There were probably about 30 seconds remaining in stoppage time in that one. Ended up calling a foul here on the Breakers, so kicked away by Brittany Cameron. SkyBlue also coming off of a loss, snapping their 5-game winning streak and 6-game unbeaten streak. They had a tie to start off that stretch. Have a foul again whistled on the Breakers. They're trying to go down to Denisha Adams, but too far out in front, picked up by Ashley Phillips, who is 1-2-3 on the season, making her 7th start. She had the start against SkyBlue back on the 1st of June, allowing 5 goals, didn't make 2 saves. Here come the Breakers. Kaya Simon up over the crossbar. So there's Simon in maybe the spot that's usually Sydney LaRue.
Yeah, when Sydney LaRue's up on offense, they kind of lob it up and have Sid go run for it. With Simon, she does have speed. Not as quick as LaRue, but she still does have that speed, and they're going to use her in more of a tactical kind of formation and try and make runs with her and Shepfer and Sanderson up in the middle.
And that actually answered our first ever hashtag Breakers TV question. We'll get to that in a second. As Joanna Lohman pops it up. Evans trying to gain control. Slides down forward, now back to Lohman. And she'll lose it. And now SkyBlue on the counterattack. Devanna has 4 goals on the season, 2 of those against the Breakers. Tries to center it, nobody home. King clears it out for Evans. We had Chris Brooks tweet in asking us what the difference would be in the attacking threat with Simon in there instead of LaRue. And again, you can join the conversation. Hashtag Breakers TV as Devanna trying to score here for SkyBlue in the middle of the box. And Breakers, good job on the back line to clear it out. Dangerous opportunity there with Devanna, 5th in the NWSL in goals with those 4.
Yeah, she was open on that far side, and she maybe could have taken a one-touch shot and tried and gone for the far post in that.
Here's Shepfer for the Breakers. In the middle for Sanderson, has Simon out wide to her left. Simon trying to do something. Back out Noguera. Plays on the near side, Dragata stepping up. Crossing it to the top of the box, headed out. In the 5th minute of action. And no score, as you can see on your top left on the screen. Kia McNeil stumbles for a moment, able to keep possession, plays for Dragata, who taps for Shepfer. Now Maddie Evans. That one got deflected, and going back to retrieve it will be Madeline Thompson. Evans playing in her second game, Maddie Evans, and she played 43 minutes in her first match of the season. Some other call-ups as well on the Breakers bench right now. 4 other players were called up for this one. And we'll see if any of them get some action as this game goes on. Kendall Johnson gets knocked down by Shepfer, and the foul called on the Breakers. Kate Russell, Shauna Gordon, Jen LaPont, and Monique Lamont all called up for the Breakers with the international games going on, and 4 players for the Breakers off on 2 with the U.S. national team, 2 with the Canadian team. In the center circle, SkyBlue taking it. Madeline Thompson. Try a long pass down the middle, headed out. Tanisha Adams was the closest one for SkyBlue. Lohman. King looking for some room. Sanderson taps it for Simon. Quickly up ahead. Shepfer. Nice play back for Noguera. Return. Now running out wide at Sanderson, but that pass was too far out in front. It'll slowly make its way out for a goal kick.
I don't know if you guys could see on their screen, but Evans was actually wide open on our near side here, and I don't think Noguera took the look to see her on that side.
This is the first of 2 matchups for these 2 teams in the next couple of weeks. They'll be back right here exactly 2 weeks from today on June the 30th. Sunday the 30th, another 6:30 kickoff. And then they'll play again down at Rutgers in New Jersey on July the 13th to wrap up a 4-game season series. Just about 7 minutes in. Tanisha Adams for SkyBlue. Lohman comes from behind, taking it away. And that one was played out wide, but Devana couldn't control it. King will throw it in for the Breakers. Kat Whitehill comes to the near sideline. Dragata. Evans and Shepfer trying to connect there. Now Lohman looking for some room, plays for Simon. Up the middle, Sanderson. And had it taken away. Devana trying to go through a double team of Dragata and Evans.
There are 4 cars parked in the fire lane outside Gilboy Stadium. If you're the owners of these cars, you have 10 minutes until they're towed. Please move them immediately. Thank you.
That's Caitlin Ford playing it back now.
Good effort there by Evans to try and step up and get that. Didn't get the best head on it, though.
SkyBlue has 6 players in the starting lineup that have now started all 11 matches of the season. Goodson, Ford, Johnson, Adams, Devana, and Friels. Here's Devana trying to get to that far post, and she sneaks it in. And SkyBlue goes up 1-0. In the 9th minute.
Phillips had no chance on that goal. Devana kind of curved it into that far post, and there was no way Phillips was going to be able to save that one.
Left foot there from Devana for her 5th goal of the season. To go along with a couple of assists. The forward from Perth, Australia, and it's 1-0 SkyBlue, so 3 of her 5 goals this season have come against the Breakers. Checking out a replay of the Devana goal. As we see it, Kendall Johnson sending it in there and just got redirected. And then Devanna with the left foot.
I think
a little curve on it.
I think that was Ocampo, too, on the assist.
We'll double check on that as the Breakers trying to answer. Lohman has her shot blocked and it goes wide of the post. So Devanna scoring in the 9th minute. As SkyBlue up 1-0. And a corner kick, the first of the matchup for the Breakers, as Katie Shepfer will go do the honors. Her 29th corner kick of the season. Let's see if the Breakers can quickly answer.
Goal scored in the 9th minute by number 11, Lisa Devanna. Assist on the play to number 8, Monica Ocampo.
And a header attempt there, stepping up was Kia McNeil, but couldn't get it directed towards the net. It was Monica Ocampo with the assist, so her first point of the season.
The important thing for Boston to realize here is they get another corner kick.
It got deflected.
It's early in the game. They still have so much time. You know, you never want to give up that early goal, but there's a lot of time for them to come back in this one.
SkyBlue will play it out, and it'll be a throw-in this time for the Breakers. Boston trying to keep the pressure on. As Kat Whitehill will throw it in. As she has started all 10 matches on the back line for the Breakers. Coming in, Simon will put it through the goalposts. So too high and wide there for Simon. Not an easy ball there for her to really get a good shot on.
She just wanted to get something on that and try and get it on goal because Cameron was not in any position to make a save had that shot been on goal.
Simon has 1 goal, 1 assist on the season after a team-high 12 goals last year for the Breakers. 21-year-old from Sydney, Australia. Taylor Lytle gives it up, now in the middle, Denisha Adams. Adams being marked by Lohman. Her pass does not connect. And Lohman plays it up the near sideline. Shepfer. Shepfer couldn't get the pass ahead to Evans as it's taken away there by Friels. And tracking it down will be Johnson. Devanna with some room, takes the left-footed shot and it got blocked down, and Phillips able to pick it up and throw it ahead. Sanderson trying to go to Lohman, and SkyBlue now. There's offsides on Devanna.
You see SkyBlue, they're going to be testing this defense all day. Devanna is a very powerful forward, and they're going to be pushing her up and trying to get into the ball to her. She's got a lot of international experience with the Australian national team. She's just a scary offensive threat up there.
Breakers throw in here right near midfield. In the 14th minute. 1-0 SkyBlue on Devanna's 5th goal of the season. And again, be sure to get in contact with us here on the broadcast using the hashtag BreakersTV on Twitter. Questions, comments, as that shot will go wide. Good effort there from Katie Shepfer, trying to make something happen. As now Brittany Cameron with the goal kick. Comes down clean there. Trying to get it is Shepfer. Check that, Evans. Now Lohman wins it. Here is Shepfer. playing it out towards the sideline, but too far out in front of Evans, who couldn't make the run.
Had that pass been more towards Evans, she had a clear lane down that sideline.
This portion of the broadcast brought to you by WeGotSoccer.com. Almost 15 minutes in, and SkyBlue with the 1-0 lead on the Breakers. Quick give and go there. King trying to beat Devanna to it. Little contact, and she does win the ball. Excuse me, that was not Devanna. It was on the other side of the field. My apologies. And now it goes off the Breakers. Tough break.
That was Ocampo, who plays on the Mexican national team as well. And she's a teammate of Boston Breakers goalie Cecilia Santiago.
And here's Devanna trying to fight with Dragata, as well as Evans. And you see Devanna not happy, looking for some type of call. Instead, it'll be a goal kick for the Breakers. Devanna scoring in the 9th minute for SkyBlue. And it's headed up by Noguera. Sanderson couldn't get to it. Now Sanderson tries to win the ball. Loose in the center circle, picked up by, that is Ocampo. Caitlin Ford against Sanderson and taken away. And then Sanderson trying to break it upfield herself. Lots of space here for Kendall Johnson, working towards the middle of the field. Kaya Syme able to step up, take it away from Lytle. Kept in by SkyBlue and then looped over everybody. Where King will elect to play it up the sideline. Lohman tracks it down. Breakers haven't really had too many opportunities yet. Nothing on goal. They've had a couple of chances. One that went up over the crossbar. Another one that trickled wide of a post.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Jim Cabrera about the strategy for SkyBlue today, and he said they're a very tactical team. They're not a powerful team, so it's going to be important for them to make their passes clean, make very clean runs. And for Boston, that's what they need to do today, especially without their power forward, Cindy LaRue up top. And those tactical runs are going to be key later.
That goes out off of Julie King. So Caitlin Ford will quickly look to throw it in. Gets it into Friels. And then it goes by Ford out. Still last touch by the Breakers, though.
Caitlin Ford's a really exciting player. She's only 18 years old, and she's played with the Australian national team since 2011, teammate of Kaya Syme on that team. And she's just such a good player. She's so young, and she's so talented.
That one goes out for a Breakers throw in as we are 18 minutes in. Tanisha Adams trying to get after it, and they'll call her offsides. That ball took a bounce and had some spin on it. It spun back towards Adams, but luckily for the Breakers, she was deemed offside, so it would have been a pretty good opportunity there against Phillips.
And Adams had a big game the last time these two teams met up. She had 2 goals, 1 assist. So that's someone they want to keep from getting shots.
Yeah, she has 3 goals on the season to go along with 2 assists. Has started in all 11 games. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Powered by Media Boss Television. We're at Dilboy Stadium, Somerville, Massachusetts. 1-0 SkyBlue FC in the 19th minute. 9th minute goal scored by Lisa Devanna, her 5th of the season. And that's how SkyBlue has the 1-0 lead. Breakers playing without Cindy LaRue, and Heather O'Reilly is there with the U.S. national team, and also without Adriana Leone and Rian Wilkinson, who are with the Canadian national team. They play at Germany on Wednesday, and the U.S. national team beating South Korea yesterday 4-1. They'll play again against South Korea Thursday down in Harrison, New Jersey at Red Bull Arena, the home of the New York Red Bulls of the MLS. And meanwhile, Sky Blue missing players as well. Christy Rampone, the captain of the U.S. national team, most notably, as well as Sophie Schmidt of the Canadian team and Kelly O'Hara from the U.S. national team as well.
Neither team is going to use missing those players, though, as an excuse to play poorly.
We saw that after the 5-1 loss at Sky Blue, that all the post-game comments and everything we saw on Twitter and all the players, everything they said, nothing mentioned missing any players. Just they said they played bad, and it's as simple as that. Sky Blue jumped out such a quick early lead, and obviously tough to come back.
Coach Cole was really disappointed in that game, but she did note that, you know, every team gets one game where they can kind of do that, but she doesn't want to see that again.
Good pass here to Devana, working against Dragata, looking for some space to shoot, but Dragata stayed with her, and then recovering to help Maddie Evans, able to clear it out.
Attention fans, if you are the owner of a black Toyota with a license plate 796 DT1, your car is about to be towed. If you are the owner of a black Toyota license plate 796 DT1, your car is about to be towed.
Goodson plays it near side. Johnson, left foot, trying to connect there, but Kia McNeil able to get a head on it. Comes back out. Sanderson colliding there with Johnson, both hitting the floor, or the turf, where they're inevitably going to come up with some burns on their legs today. And Phillips will step up the top of the box and grab it.
The turf surface is different for the Sky Blue team. This is not their normal playing conditions at their home field.
Happy birthday to Katie, Erica, Julia Millett, Natalie Hibbert, Meredith Jared, and Hannah Wheelan.
Noguera gives to Sanderson, trying to get to Simon, who was making a run up towards the left side. It got blocked down. Sanderson, so strong with the ball, trying to win it back. Dragata threads the needle for Lohman, now Evans. Middle of the field, Sanderson quickly taps it for Schepfer. Schepfer finding some space, the ball is loose. And she gains control. Julie King overlapping on the left side, trying to get towards the box. Sanderson had to take it away.
It was a great play by King to overlap because she was so fast down that sideline right
They
there.
find Simon. She's on sides, looking to get a cross off. Just keeps it in, and then she stumbles down, just losing her footing. Good non-call there. She definitely just lost her footing and then almost grabbed a Sky Blue defender and took her down. Breakers keep the pressure on, though. Evans using the space she's given. Now Noguera. Schepfer, her shot will be wide of the post, as Cameron was going after it. It's a goal kick, though, not touched by Sky Blue.
This is exactly what Boston needs to do, though. They step up, they push, and they get these offensive opportunities, and they got to keep peppering if they want to get a goal, tie this game up.
All proceeds will be donated to One Fund Boston. Show your support and purchase your wristband at the merchandise table.
Brittany Cameron in goal right there for Sky Blue. She's an experienced player. She knows the game. She's a coach. She's coached at 3 different universities, so she's a very reliable presence back there in the goal.
Dragata trying to get to it before Devana does. And now Phillips will just send it away as quickly as she can. Hart probably skipped a beat there for a moment on the Breakers bench.
Please be sure to follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter or visit NikeSoccer.com for all the latest news and information on Nike Soccer products.
Remember, just like
24 minutes in. Madeline Thompson. Near side, Kendall Johnson. Back out, Thompson. Looking for space in the middle. It's tapped towards Denisha Adams. Evans and Dragata playing with it now. And back for Phillips.
Lead him, Ryan.
That one deflected to Noguera. That long pass will not connect with either Sanderson or Simon as Cameron will let it bounce into the box. Breakers still without a shot on goal. The only shot on goal in the game was a goal for SkyBlue FC, Savannah. Unofficially, the Breakers are out shooting SkyBlue though, 3-1. Savannah plays it ahead for Friels. Friels with some space, will take it. And now that pass sneaking through. Ocampo makes it 2-0. So Ocampo an assist and a goal now for SkyBlue. And 2-0 here in the 26th minute.
That ball looked like it deflected off Dragata and went right to Ocampo. Ocampo, who took the near shot, and Phillips didn't have a chance on that.
First assist and first goal of the season in this matchup for Ocampo. And SkyBlue, much like the first matchup, have jumped out to a lead. 2-0 here as you see this one from Friels, and it went off the foot of Dragata, as Maddie said. A bad bounce for the Breakers, not much that Phillips could do, and it's 2-0 SkyBlue. This one will go all the way out for the Breakers, so a goal kick for SkyBlue. Breakers came into today even, goals scored, goals against, and some quick broadcaster math, and now I know that they're a -2 on the season. SkyBlue a +11, which you would expect if you're tied for first place at 7-2-1.
SkyBlue is a very well-rounded team. They've got a strong defense. They've got a powerful offense. That's why they're in first place.
Yeah, but they're missing their leading goal scorer in this game, Sophie Schmidt, with 5 goals. She's with the Canadian national team, but well balanced.
That gives players like Ocampo a chance to step up, and as you can see so far, she's got a goal and an assist.
You know, Ocampo playing in her 7th game, her 3rd start. Her first goal, first assist of the season. Key now for the Breakers, try to get one on the board before halftime. Still plenty of time, of course, in this first half, but SkyBlue has, for the most part, controlled things here. And plenty of room to maneuver there. And it quickly closed up.
Ford is so fast, and she had so much space down the middle of the field. Boston cannot give her that much room, or she's going to take advantage, and the score is going to be 3-0 soon.
Lohman, near side Evans, trying to switch fields with it, and that was Simon. That's offsides. Scott Sudikoff alongside Maddie Sattler. We're at Dilboy Stadium, Somerville, Massachusetts. Alex Sims on the sidelines for us here tonight. Broadcast brought to you by Media Boss Television. Breakers 2-0-2 at home this season, so looking to avoid their first loss on their home field. And right now in some trouble, down by a pair of goals. 9th minute Savannah, 26th minute Ocampo for SkyBlue. And they're looking for more. And that shot will go wide as Phillips got him into the air trying to make the save. It was got to go wide of the post, but SkyBlue now with their 3rd or 4th shot, and we have a player down for SkyBlue, and that is Savannah. So Lisa Savannah is down. Did not see what occurred. She'll be checked out by the training staff right now. And looks to be her left leg. She's back up on her feet. And see the Breakers now huddling. Kat Whitehill leading the charge there in the huddle, trying to get her team back into this one. 31-year-old from Birmingham, Alabama, leading the charge in that huddle as you see Devanna walk off the field.
Whitehill's a strong leader. She's been the leader of the Breakers this entire season, and she does not want to lose this game at home. So she's fired up. She wants to get her team fired up, and hopefully whatever she said will get a little more pep in their step and get them back in this game.
Devanna is on the sideline, not at the bench though, and looks to be stretching out her leg there, so potentially just a cramp. Here's Lytle, taken away by Whitehill. So she'll say some things, and then she'll do some things on the field as well to lead. Stopping that opportunity.
Whitehill's played every minute of every game so far. She's really reliable, and she's a great defender back there.
She's one of 3 Breakers that have played every minute. Sanderson and Lohman, the other 2. Sanderson has it bumped away by Mikowski. And now Mikowski will play it for Adams.
And Devanna is back in the game on that far side.
Goodson being pressured by Schepfer. Schepfer looking to cause a turnover. Quick touch to Lytle. Broken up by the Breakers. Noguera will play it back for Whitehill, and the Breakers try to set up something.
One thing SkyBlue is really good at is getting possession and keeping possession. So when the Breakers do get possession, especially in that midfield, they can't give up the ball so quickly because SkyBlue has had the ball the majority of the game so far.
Thompson can't connect there with Ocampo. It goes out for a Breakers throw-in.
Breakers fans, the Ocean Spray Giant line of juices has just 5 little calories and 3 more flavors to help you stay healthy and fit this summer. Beat the heat with a cold glass of refreshing Ocean Spray Diet Cran Lemonade or Diet Cran Cherry. Ocean Spray tastes good, good for you. And don't forget to stop by the Ocean Spray booth prior to every Breakers home game for free Ocean Spray samples.
McNeil stepping up for the Breakers. Gives to Evans. Lohman.
Go, Kia! I love you, Kia.
And then that one missing Sanderson right down the middle.
Yeah, Kia!
McNeil was looking to maybe get the ball back and make a run down that side, but the Breakers switched fields instead.
We have some Kia McNeil fans right next to our on-field microphone there. Able to pick that up at home. As here comes Leanne Sanderson. Splitting 2 defenders. Sanderson has Schepfer. Schepfer can't control it though. And now Ford has it knocked out by Simon. 33 minutes in. SkyBlue scoring in the 9th minute. Devanna, 26th minute. Ocampo. Schepfer plays it back for Lohman. Thought she was going to go with the shot there instead. Tries to do something else and taken away. Devanna. Trying to lead it. McNeil, though, able to head it away. Kaya Simon with some space. As Schepfer, and Schepfer will go and track it down, and I believe they called a foul on the other side there. I did see, I think it was Maddie Evans who got bowled over. And
yeah, she went down. So this is a great opportunity right here for Boston. They need to take advantage of this shot so close, or this foul so close to the goal.
so Breakers an opportunity they'd love to take advantage of. Cut this deficit in half. Still a good amount of time remaining in the first half. Whitehill. It's right into the wall there, and it goes out for a corner kick. Shepford will go do the honors.
Already the third corner kick of the game. So Boston has had the opportunities. They just need to capitalize.
Play it short. Lohman. Out to Sanderson. Now Shepford comes and gets it. Trying to cross it into the box, and
An offsides call. SkyBlue pushed up after that kick was back out, sent back out to Sanderson, and the Breakers were caught offsides.
They had Matty Evans, who was in there deep, probably the one that got caught off. So the opportunity there cut off for the Breakers. Again, you can get in contact with us, hashtag Breakers TV. We have a couple questions that are in. We'll get to those. Probably look at a few during halftime and as the second half begins. Keep them coming, though, as Simon couldn't get to it and picked up by Cameron.
That ball flicked off the foot of Madeline Thompson, and luckily Cameron was right there to get that one.
One of 3 matches today in the NWSL. Chicago was playing at FC Kansas City. Seattle and Portland playing as well today. We'll get you a score update on those at some point. At last check, it was 0-0 Seattle and Portland, but that was early in the second half. And Chicago is leading FC Kansas City 3-1 in the second half. I have a feeling that one has gone final. So we'll be able to check those for you at halftime. The last match of the day. Yesterday, you had Western New York defeat Washington 2-0. So Western New York now third in the standings at 16 points. Kaya Simon taps it for Dragado, who's coming up the sideline, and she'll quickly pick it up for the throw-in. Drops it in for Simon.
Good job by Ocampo to get back and defend that.
Evans, Simon through the seam, and Cameron coming out to make the stop. There's not enough room there for Simon to get to it.
Yeah, but it was a good idea by the Breakers. They need to get offense generated, obviously, and they don't want to go in at halftime being down 2-0.
Be a SkyBlue throw in here from Caitlin Ford. Lohman coming from the center circle. Connects with Sanderson, but just couldn't gather it.
It was an unfortunate touch off her hip right there. Otherwise, if she had gotten that on her feet, she would have gone right to goal.
Evans trying to direct it towards Lohman or Simon. Split them, though. 39th minute of play.
Drills has a lot of room up the middle right there.
Goes wide to Devana. Devana already has a goal. She taps it for Johnson, who steps up. Cross is cleared out there. As you had Phillips, looked like she was going to get her hands on it, but Noguera sends it out for a corner kick for SkyBlue.
It's the first corner kick of the day for SkyBlue FC. We'll see how the Breakers defend this one.
Tanisha Adams will take it for SkyBlue. Headed out by Lohman. Third opportunity there, and Lohman gets it out of the box, and then miscommunication on a pass. Throw in for the Breakers. Good defense there by Boston. Stopping the opportunity as Joe Dragata will throw in.
That's something that's important, is defend as a team, and they did a great job right there doing that.
They don't hate each other. They work together.
Bouncing loose for a moment.
And we're like, I know all day, every day.
And Phillips there, able to come up, make the play. Also had a couple of blue jerseys around her for support. Mariah Noguera gives to Shepford. Shepford to Simon. Again, just can't get to it. So similar to what they would do with Sydney Leroux in that situation. Send it out to try to go get it. But just a little too much on the last couple of passes for Simon.
She was in a good place to make that run down the middle. Just a little too much, a little too tough of a pass.
Without Sydney Leroux, you're missing 5 goals on the season, tied for second in the league. Heather O'Reilly, 3 goals and an assist for the Breakers. So you're missing 8 goals.
And Leon, who scored the only goal against this SkyBlue FC team last time the two teams met up.
Seems like the type of opportunity for Leanne Sanderson to put another goal on the board. She has 1 on the season to go along with a league-high 7 assists. Remember, she had a hat trick of assists. I believe it was back on the 25th against the Washington Spirit, where she assisted on all 3 of the Breakers' goals in that game.
And she was player of the week that week, too. Sanderson's a player that just loves the game. She has such an appreciation for it, and she just wants to have the ball. You know, she's always hungry for a goal, for an assist, to do what she can for her team.
Bounces out.
Breakers fans, please use the trash barrels provided in order to keep your moist eating clean. Thank you.
That one turned over. Ocampo trying to give it to Devana. Simon connects with Sanderson. Sanderson will play it back. Breakers trying to look for some more room, set things up. Lohman. Tap to Simon. Now Lohman again. Looking for room for a pass. And then Simon trying to send Lohman like towards the corner, but Lohman looked as if she was heading towards the post instead.
Lohman's another player who just loves the game of soccer. She's a great distributor. She's a defensive, more holding midfielder, but she's so smart, and she just knows how to send balls and the balls to the right runs. And a great asset for this Breakers team.
Whitehill stepping up, heading through the middle, lost control of it. Friels sends it out into space, trying to connect with Lytle. And now Phillips able to clear it away. Good play by Shepfer. Now the Breakers with an opportunity to move forward on offense. Maddie Evans throws it through to Shepfer, and it's blocked down. The second opportunity, Sanderson couldn't get a clean shot off. And that was a pretty bad collision as well. Sanderson comes up hobbling and try to get an ID on the player who's down for SkyBlue, but whoever is down for SkyBlue saved a goal. And also give Cameron credit for the initial stop on Shepfer. Try to.
That was a huge collision between Sanderson and it.
Try to.
Looks like Goodson, I think, is down.
Potentially Goodson. So we don't see her anywhere else on the field. And
neither player meant any harm in that one. It was just the momentum carried both of them
loose
smack
ball
into
right
each
there.
other.
Loose ball right there in the 6.
But yeah, that was Coco Goodson who took
She's up.
the brunt of that hit from Sanderson.
We're in the 45th minute. Should have a couple of minutes of stoppage time. There's a shot from Schepfer. It's to that near post, and did it get deflected? It did, so it'll set up a corner kick as we are right at the 45-minute mark into stoppage time now. It'll be 2 minutes of stoppage time, so plenty of time right now with the Breakers in the offensive end to get one on the board before halftime. Schepfer's corner kick. It's Simon, and she sends it by the post. And a goal kick.
Boston needs to get first touch on this ball and keep pushing forward. They want to go into the locker room with some momentum on their side.
That's Evans with the header. Simon Sanderson, back to Simon. And missed connection with Lohman. Dragata recovers.
Those are the kind of mistakes that Boston cannot make if they want to beat this team.
Whitehill. A long attempt, but Lohman not able to get to it. Cameron will pick it up. It's Lohman coming to pressure. Probably about less than a minute now in the stoppage time, as we had 2 minutes. Sanderson trying to spin away from a defender. Centers it for Lohman. Lohman has some space, has Evans on the near side, goes that way. Evans trying to look for space for a cross, gets it off, and Simon is there, but it was over her head, and Cameron able to make the catch.
Great effort by Evans to get that cross off right there.
And that will do it for the first half of play. So Sky Blue will take a 2-0 lead into halftime. Goals in the 9th minute by Lisa Devanna and the 26th minute by Monica Ocampo. And so Sky Blue with a 2-0 lead at halftime. We're going to send it down in a moment to our sideline reporter, Alex Sims. We believe she'll be talking with Breakers head coach Lisa Cole as Sky Blue with the 2-0 lead.
There's still a whole nother half of soccer to be played, so Boston can't give up, let up on the gas at all. They need to keep, that end of the first half. We saw them getting a lot of shots off, a lot of pressure, and they need to keep that, especially when they come out in the second half.
All right, we're about ready to set it down to Alex Sims. She's on the field with Breakers head coach Lisa Cole.
Head coach Lisa Cole for the Breakers. Now, coach, really quickly, down by 2 at the half, what do you have to do offensively to get back on track tonight?
Well, I think we just need to do a better job with our chances. I think we're too impatient in the final third. We should be able to play better balls than we're playing right now. We're trying to chip everything in, and it's just not on right now. So we just need to settle down the attacking third, play make a little bit, and then we've got to finish our chances. They have had a couple good chances. They put 2 goals in. We've had good chances. We have nothing to show for it. So that's the difference, is our finishing quality.
Now, you're playing a first-place team in the league. What did you have to do to prepare for tonight's game?
Well, we had to take a look at where their strengths are and try to limit the number of touches Lisa Devanna gets on the ball, limit the amount of times that they're in behind our back line. And I think we've done that for the most part, but we got to be a little bit better on the ball ourselves.
Great, thanks so much. Good luck. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Again, the score at halftime, Sky Blue FC 2 and the Breakers 0. We'll take a break, come back, and have a look at the halftime stats. We'll get you the scores from the other two matchups in the NWSL here today and have the second half of action for you as well. Sky Blue 2, Breakers 0. You're watching Boston Breakers Soccer, powered by Media Boss Television. Welcome back to Dilboy Stadium. We're at halftime with the score, Sky Blue FC 2 and the Boston Breakers 0. Taking a look at some of the first half stats, the Breakers did outshoot Sky Blue 9-4, but shots on goal were 2-1 in favor of Sky Blue, and both of those shots on goal, of course, for Sky Blue FC going into the back of the net. And looking at the foul numbers, evened up at 2 apiece. Offsides 3-1, Breakers with 3 offsides. Corner kicks, the Breakers had 4 of them, while Sky Blue FC with just 1 corner kick opportunity. We promised you some scores from around the NWSL, and there were 2 finals. Chicago knocking off FC Kansas City 3-1, while Portland shutting out Seattle 2-0. Now we want to recap the 2 goals that happened in this one. Sky Blue with the first goal and first 2 goals of the game. First one coming in the 9th minute. It was off of the foot of Lisa DeVanna. She scored her 5th goal of the season in that 9th minute, and it was assisted by Monica Ocampo. That was her first assist of the season. So with Sky Blue FC missing a few players, a couple of players stepping up here earlier in this one.
Yeah, it's great to see Ocampo getting her first goal of the season, her first assist of the season today. You know, without some of the players that normally would play in the position, Ocampo's done a great job, as has most of the Sky Blue team, to step up and fill those roles.
And Sky Blue took a 2-0 lead in the 26th minute, and we mentioned Ocampo, her first assist, and then now getting her first goal of the season. So a goal and assist, and here's that first goal from Lisa DeVanna. You see Ocampo with the pass, and DeVanna just perfectly placing that shot. A little bit of extra curve on it, nothing that Ashley Phillips could do, so that made it 1-0 in the 9th minute of play. And then later on, Ocampo was able to pick up her first goal this season. And so Sky Blue, without Christy Rampone, without Sophie Schmidt, no Kelly O'Hara, no Jill Lloyden, they're off on international duty. They are doing what they did to the Breakers the first time around, jumping out to an early lead. They won that first matchup 5-1, and they're up on this one at halftime 2-0. So we'll see what the Breakers want to do. If there are any changes in the lineup as we go forward in the second half of action. As the 2 teams coming back out on the field, we'll take a look at that second goal, the one from Ocampo, and it went off of Dragata. And again, not much Phillips could do on both of the goals, as Ocampo scoring her first of the season.
And as the first half ended, we saw the Breakers were getting more shots, more opportunities at the end, so they need to keep that momentum up as we start this second half.
And it looks as if we have a new keeper in the net for the Breakers. And we had one of our hashtag Breakers TV questions coming a couple times from Mike Amrock, and he was asking about Alyssa Nair and when she was going to play for the Breakers. And guess what? You have your answer now. And
yeah.
She is making her debut in the season.
This is her Boston, well, her return to Boston, her first game this season. She was with the Breakers in 2010, 2011. She's got the franchise record for saves in a season, 99. And the last 2 years she's been playing in Germany for Turbine Potsdam.
So she goes in net as Ashley Phillips allowed 2 goals on 2 shots on goal. But as you saw from those replays, she didn't have the greatest opportunity to make the saves. A couple of bad bounces, or really one bad bounce. The second one off of Dragata's leg. It led to Ocampo taking advantage of it. So Sky Blue with the 2-0 lead on the Breakers. Second half underway, and Alyssa Nair is in goal for the first time this season for Boston. And there she is. A very strong leg. Mentioned that Portland won their match 2-0 over Seattle, so for the time being, they have a 3-point first place lead on Sky Blue. If this score is to stay the same, of course, the Sky Blue and Portland would be back in a tie, as Portland now 8-2-1, Seattle falling to 0-9-1, and Chicago knocking off FC Kansas City. So they are 3-6-2, 11 points, and FC Kansas City falling to 5-4-1. They have 14 points. So the Breakers an opportunity, if they were to come back and win this one, to leapfrog FC Kansas City in the standings. But a long time to go in this one before we get to that point. Just 47th minute. And Breakers down by a pair. Sanderson against Ford, and it's taken away. We also had a substitution for Sky Blue as Nayeli Ranhel has come into the match, and sitting out here in the second half, Lisa Devanna. So I have to wonder if potentially that little injury she came down with in the middle of the first half has something to do with that. It looked maybe like a cramp. She was stretching out on the sideline after coming out momentarily, but she's now out in the second half, and Nayeli Ranhel is in.
Yeah, this gives Ranhel a great opportunity. She's young. She's on the Mexican Team Mexico. She's a young player for them, just like Cecilia Santiago, so we'll see what she can do for Sky Blue today.
That one goes wide of the net, and Alyssa Nair will tee it up for a goal kick. Nair gets a good reception from the crowd as she's officially introduced to the crowd. And again, send your questions and comments into the hashtag BreakersTV. Had a couple of questions we were able to answer on the air so far, and always looking for more. If you just have a comment, even a suggestion, anything having to do with the broadcast or today's game, feel free to send it along. Again, using the hashtag BreakersTV, and that's on the Twitter machine if you have it. There's Joanna Lohman for the Breakers. Goes to Shepford, trying to quickly touch it to Simon. Missed connections. Also be sure to follow the team on Twitter at Boston Breakers, as well as the league at NWSL. Sure we can find more Twitter handles for you, but I think that's enough for now. As will be free kick here for the Breakers after the foul on Sky Blue. Sky Blue offices are in Morristown, New Jersey, I believe, and they play their games, though, in Piscataway at Rutgers University. They're 4-1-0 on the road this season and 3-1-1 at home for that 7-2-1 clip, 22 points. Throw into Lohman. Sliding after it, cleared out by Kendall Johnson. Lots of speed there from Ocampo, who probably playing with a little more confidence now with a goal, first assist of the season in her 7th game of the year, her 3rd start. She assisted on the first goal to Lisa Devanna and then scoring later on in the 26th minute. Coco Goodson there with the ball. She made a big defensive play late in that first half. It looked like Leanne Sanderson might have a clear shot right there at the top of the 6th, and Goodson got back in time. They had a nice big collision, but she did her job and stopped the goal.
She saved that goal, and the momentum, both players collided pretty hard into each other, and we're lucky. We're glad no one's hurt.
As Ford will throw it in now. Taken away by Julie King. King taps it to Noguera. Sun's trying to peek through here as it sets here at Dilboy Stadium. And pinball back out of bounds again. And they're going to give it to Sky Blue.
Hey, Breakers fans, are you on Twitter and Facebook? If so, be sure to follow and friend the Breakers for all your up-to-the-minute info on the team. Start tweeting with us today by going to twitter.com/Boston Breakers and become our friend at facebook.com/Boston Breakers.
Dragado will quickly restart things with the throw-in for the Breakers. Trying to go to Simon, knocked away by Thompson. Back out again.
I think the goal for the Breakers was to come out and score early and get right back in this game like Sky Blue did to start the game, and they haven't had any opportunities so far, so that's got to be disappointing for the team because I'm sure that was one of their goals coming out of halftime.
Dragada. Trying to go the opposite end of the field, trying to go to Shepfer was Maddie Evans. Turned over. Ford coming up near midfield. Lytle. Mikowski. Now back Madeline Thompson. Looking for some space up the middle. Gets it to Randhill, who came in for Devanna at halftime. And then Randhill on a run. And a nice play there by Julie King to slide it and get it away towards her keeper, Nair, as Randhill had a step.
Julie King's a great player. She's been playing consistently at that outside back position for most of the season.
Here's Shepfer on the near side looking for a shot opportunity. Gets by the defender with the right foot, but right to Cameron. Just as if she was trying to curl it into that near post, but didn't have.
Cameron knew what she was thinking, and Shepfer had a lot of time to make sure she got the right shot off, so it's unfortunate that she shot it right at the goalie.
And she didn't have the movement on the ball there to get that curl into that near post, just right to Cameron, who officially makes, I believe, her first save, second save. She made one earlier. We mentioned that little scrum with Sanderson and Goodson in front of the net. Initially, Cameron had made a save there, and the deflection had bounced right to Sanderson. It looked like for really just a clear net. But the good play defensively by Goodson kept a 0 on the Breakers scoreboard. '54th minute of play. Sky Blue went up 1-0 just in the 9th minute today, as Lisa Devanna scoring her 5th goal of the season and her 3rd against the Breakers. Here's Kaya Simon. Gives to Shepfer. Now Simon runs up the sideline. Gets it through. Simon had it cleared away before she could get to it.
It was a great effort, good idea, good strategy by Shepard to try and thread the needle with Simon up top.
And that was Goodson with the defensive play to get it away from Simon. Here's Sanderson. Plays it outside, stepping up Whitehill. And that, let's see if they say that's off of Whitehill, as Cameron was coming way off her line there. And
Whitehill really wants to win this game, and you can tell she's pushed all the way up from her center defensive position to make that run right there. She's trying to pump her team up and get something going.
For a second, I almost said O'Reilly, and obviously she's not here. And looked very similar to what O'Reilly would do in that situation. Whitehill, as Maddie said, coming up from the defensive position, almost with an opportunity, a surprise opportunity. Whitehill has only attempted 9 shots on the season. Breakers starting a 3-match homestand here with this one, but they're off for 10 days after today. They'll play on Wednesday, June the 26th against Seattle Reign FC, and then against Sky Blue exactly 2 weeks from today. Same start time, same teams. Although we are hopeful for that game we'll have a full complement of players on each side. Then the Breakers will go on a 3-game road trip, including the trip to the Pacific Northwest to play Seattle and Portland on the road. Here's Julie King stepping up. Cross to Simon, and again, right there, Cameron in position near that post, and Simon just couldn't get it by her.
You see these defensive players are pushing up and trying to generate some offense, and that was a great job by King, a great cross, and a good flick by Simon. She just couldn't get it on net.
Quick counterattack from Sky Blue. Nair steps up and takes it. Here's Kaya Simon trying to create something. Couldn't get it through. Intended for Shepfer. Cleared out by SkyBlue, and Nair will come out.
This is good, though, for the Breakers to keep that momentum, keep possession, and
Julie King heading that out. Coco Goodson plays it through the middle, tapped by Friels. And now it's on the far side with Kendall Johnson. And Nair coming all the way out to grab it again. Quickly throw it to the opposite end with King. Shepfer spinning away from Ford. And then being knocked down. Coming to get it though, Evans. Maddie Evans. The call up, getting her first start of the season. Evans from Penn State in Glenside, Pennsylvania, 22 years old. Her second match, her first start.
Evans is a hardworking player, and she's got experience all over the field. She's very smart. She knows how different positions work, and that's definitely worked to her favor, especially today.
Shepfer gonna go pressure after Cameron. Gets a foot on it there, a deflection. Simon, though, couldn't control it.
Cameron's really lucky there.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble there, and Shepfer with the extra pressure. Ford running by King. Ford has Ocampo in the middle if she can get a pass off. Whitehill coming over to push her off the spot and draw the goal kick. So great defensive play by Whitehill.
And Whitehill knows what she needs to do to defend a player like Ford, to defend any of these players. Whitehill's been in the game. You know, she's been playing her entire life. She's a very, very smart defender.
Ocean Spray, tastes good, good for you. And don't forget to stop by the Ocean Spray booth prior to every Breakers home game for free Ocean Spray samples. Ocean Spray, the official juice of the Boston Breakers.
Now it's popped up out of bounds. It'll be a Breakers throw-in on the far sideline. As we're into the 60th minute of play. Getting to it is Shepfer. King on the overlap, getting by Ocampo. The cross to the far side. The header is in.
That was Lohman. Wow, that was a beautiful header.
And so the Breakers get on the board. Second goal of the season for Joanna Lohman. And in the 60th minute, it's 2-1.
Credit King, that was a great cross in the middle. There was no way Cameron was going to intercept that, and Lohman was at the perfect place to get a head on that, and that was a beautiful goal.
First assist for King on the season, second goal for Lohman. As we take another look at it, as King had the step on Ocampo, and then with the left foot, and you see Lohman right in.
Good job by Evans, too, to see King making that overlapping run down the side.
So, brand new situation here with a 2-1 and plenty of time left. Now see if the Breakers can ride the wave of momentum. As Nair gets it up all the way to Sanderson. Sanderson looking for a pass opportunity. The tap back, couldn't get it. And it comes loose. See that sun glaring into our cameras on the field as it sets off to our right here in the press box and directly into our face. It's warming things up just a little bit more now. It was 70s but muggy when this game started. Randhell, who came in for Devanna at halftime. It'll be a SkyBlue throw in there. Caitlin Ford will do the honors.
For SkyBlue, they are trying not to panic. They want to get that goal back as quickly as they can and try and swing the momentum in the other direction.
Comes all the way to the far side. That's Kendall Johnson. Johnson's cross. Ocampo tapped it through. No shot opportunity, though, there for SkyBlue. Counterattack with the Breakers. Evans to Shepfer. Shepfer had a step, but the ball got redirected towards Mikowski. And then cleared out.
The crowd's really getting into this one, too. We've got another.
Finally something to cheer about with that goal in the 60th minute. And Nair boots it away. And there's a turnover. This could be a tough mistake, but Breakers are back defensively. Ball comes loose, though. And then Adams had it knocked out by Dragana. SkyBlue led 2-0 at halftime. Joanna Lohman scoring on a header in the 60th minute. And a beautiful left-footed cross from Julie King. King's first assist of the season, her first point. Second goal for Lohman. Madeline Thompson will play it back for SkyBlue. Just want to correct something I said earlier. It was pointed out by Grant Evans, who I'm going to say is probably related to Maddie Evans. I mentioned that she was a call-up. She's not a call-up. She was signed to the full-time roster. So thank you for the tweet. And that was using hashtag BreakersTV. So see, things like that pointed out and correct a quick mistake. Although I know that's something I knew. I just said it wrong. We do have 4 call-ups on the bench right now for the Breakers. Kate Russell, Shauna Gordon, Jen LaPont, and Monique Lamotte. And again, that's hashtag BreakersTV to join in on the conversation during the game today. Any questions, comments, corrections, as that was. And we thank Grant Evans. Our live stream powered by Media Boss Television. We thank you for tuning in here on this Father's Day Sunday. Throw in for Caitlin Ford. And then quickly out, and was that going to be a corner kick? It will be.
Yeah, that's what Ford was cornered in that corner, and all she had to do was knock the ball off Kaya Simon, and her team has a great scoring chance right here.
We'll see Denisha Adams will take it. 66th minute. SkyBlue leading 2-1, a pair of first half goals. It comes loose at the top, and the shot, and a diving stop by Nair that bounces off the post, and she regains control.
Well, that was Nair's first save of the season, and great job by her to make the initial stop and then regain her composure and get that ball.
Get thrown right into the fire. That opportunity there.
Welcome back to Boston.
That was Maddie's attempt at a Boston accent, I think. But
I'm not going to try that one again.
SkyBlue on the counterattack quickly. Chasing after it is Ocampo, and it is kept in. She'll play it for Ranhel. Comes back, Kendall Johnson, and Breakers forced to turnover. Evans, long pass towards the opposite end. It gets knocked away momentarily. Sanderson trying to win the ball from Thompson. And good help there from SkyBlue, but Breakers now get the throw in. We should mention that Maddie is not from Boston, so the Boston accent does not come natural. Mariah Noguera taps it for Joanna Lohman, who has the goal for the Breakers. Tries to skip it to Sanderson, but it's knocked away, and the Breakers still keep the pressure. Noguera will loft it ahead. Evans trying to get to it, but Cameron coming up off her line to grab it.
Well, the crowd's getting really fired up. They want to see this game get tied up soon, and Boston right now has a lot of the momentum.
Here might be an opportunity for SkyBlue. Adams looking for room on a shot, and she sends it high. Being marked there by Julie King, didn't give her much room. So Adams does have 3 goals on the season. Trying to regain a 2-goal advantage for SkyBlue. Couldn't get anything clean off.
And Adams has kind of been a nemesis for Boston. 2 of her 3 goals were against the Breakers.
And we have a whistle and a card going to be issued to the Breakers.
Joe Dragata right there, and now the Breakers need to take a step back and defend as a team.
Denisha Adams sets up. 70th minute now. Let's see if they can challenge Nair for the second time in the last couple of minutes. Nair in her first action of the season, coming in at halftime. And there's King to head it out of the box. And Shepford battles with Lytle.
That was important for the Breakers to get the first touch on that, and a great job by King to get her head on it and get it out as quick as possible.
Adams gets it through the legs there of Noguera, the shot and a score by Katie Friels, and it's 3-1 SkyBlue. Her first of the season.
That was a powerful shot from the top of the box by Friels, and the pass by Adams kind of just snuck through the defense right there.
Yeah, it looked as if it went through the legs of the Breakers defender and found Friels. Let's take a look and see if we can get a better look at it. As Adams, yeah, went right through the legs of McNeil. And then Friels from straight away, right.
The upper 90, and Nair didn't have really a chance to save that one. It was a really good strike by Friels.
So SkyBlue regains the 2-goal advantage, 3-1. First goal of the season for Friels. The assist for Denisha Adams, her team leading 3rd of the season. After the Breakers worked so hard to get that first goal, had some opportunities to tie it, now right back down by 2.
Yeah, they have to be really disappointed by that, but they cannot let off the gas. There's still time in this game to get back.
Kaya Simon looking to work around Johnson.
King.
And a foul. Or was it offside?
I think King was offsides in the front of the goal.
So Friels, who has started all 11 matches for Sky Blue. Scores her first of the season to go along with a pair of assists on the year. Sky Blue trying to remain in first place. If they win today, they regain a tie with Portland, who won earlier today over Seattle. And again, join the conversation on Twitter, #BreakersTV. You can let us know where you're watching from as well. That's always interesting to see where in the United States, where in Canada, or where all over the world you are tuning into the game. And I got a feeling there's plenty of wherever in the world people listening. And I'd like to know where you're listening or watching from.
Especially with today's game, there's a couple Aussies playing, some Team Mexico players playing. Leanne Sanderson's from England, so we've got fans all over the world.
And even if you're a Sky Blue FC fan, it's okay. You can still tweet in and say hello. Madeline Thompson. And it's picked off by Kia McNeil. She sends it out for a throw-in for Sky Blue FC in the 73rd minute. Breakers are winless in their last 3 matches and trying to make a comeback here. Foul on the Breakers. Losing to Chicago last Sunday 1-0, and then earlier that week they tied with Western New York 2-2, and that was a match that they had won up until the final 30 seconds of stoppage time. Western New York stealing that one, a tie at least, and then before that was the 5-1 setback at Sky Blue. And Sky Blue had won 5 straight, were unbeaten in 6 straight before they fell to Western New York 3-0 on June the 8th. First time they've been shut out this season.
Jim Gobert said that.
As Noguera trying to send it into some space for Simon, but it got cleared out. For the Breakers, an opportunity.
Yeah, the Sky Blues' 2 losses of the season are both to New York, and Gobert said he's not necessarily sure why they have such a tough time with the Flash. It's kind of just a difficult matchup for his team. But coming off that loss, they definitely wanted to win today. That was definitely one of their goals.
Here comes the corner from Shepfer. To the far side, trying to get a head on it was McNeil. Played back for Sanderson. Tragata sends it towards the top of the box. Back out again. Now King. King settles it, sending it into the box and headed out. Breakers there momentarily to try to keep the pressure on, and Sky Blue will try to work it out. Sanderson steals it away and then gets taken down. Foul on Sky Blue.
Well, this is another chance. See what the Breakers can do with this opportunity.
Whitehill trying to get it through.
She's going for the quick restart right there. That was a dangerous kick by Ocampo too. She almost got Shepper in the face.
Tragata back at the center circle. Plays it left for King. King with the left foot into the box. Running after it was both McNeil and Simon. Now Noguera and whistle, and now a foul on Boston. Obviously an exciting time with the inaugural season of the NWSL, and it just got announced a couple of days ago the schedule for the Fox Soccer national broadcast that the league will have. And the first one comes up on July 14th. It'll be Washington Spirit playing at Seattle. And then a week from then, the 21st, we just talked about Western New York has beaten Sky Blue twice this season. They will play on the Fox Soccer channel on July 21st. Breakers will play their lone regular season game on the Fox Soccer channel on August 17th. That's the finale of the season. They'll play at Western New York, and then both semifinals in the league and the championship will be aired on the Fox Soccer channel. So with 6 regular season games and then the 2 semis and the championship. As that ball is loose, Denisha Adams, and a save there by Whitehill at the post. So for the time being, Breakers dodge a bullet.
Whitehill's having a great game. She doesn't, get her name mentioned a lot because she's a defensive player, but she saved that goal right there, and she's trying to get her team pumped up and amped up, and she wants to win.
And the crowd showing their support, banging on the stands, shaking our cameras a bit. Sent it to the box, and Nair went up to punch that one out, and she's down.
She may have collided heads.
And she'll be checked out by the referee, Christina Uncle. Haven't mentioned the officials today. Assistant referees are Jennifer Jones and Lauren Dearman. 4th official, Ian McKay.
Yeah, I think she collided heads right there, and that's scary.
And now, so Nair will be checked by the training staff. That's the last thing you want to see when Nair is making her debut on the season. See the crowd here at Dilboy Stadium. Good crowd here on the near side stands.
We've become more aware of concussions and trying to prevent them, and
Might have a bloody nose there.
that she definitely collided heads with the SkyBlue player, and hopefully it's nothing too serious.
So you see the players will try to stay loose on the field, doing some calf stretching there in the middle of your screen, and now back to Listen Nair being tended to. We see a look in, that's our press box there. Luckily, we're not on the shot. As again, Nair being tended to. As she came in here in the second half, she has made a couple of nice stops, has given up a goal. As we do our best to keep the crowd entertained right now in this little bit of stoppage. This will undoubtedly add some time at the end of the 90 minutes with Nair having her nose worked on, or wherever she might be bleeding from, after going up on that corner kick. But that was all set up really by a save by Kat Whitehill. Kept it 3-1 by really, after Nair was out of the play, the ball was loose, and Whitehill just held the post like a good goalie. Not letting anyone sneak one in.
And Nair did punch that ball out on that corner kick, so she did make
She
the
did her,
stop there.
she
did her job.
Sacrificed herself, did her job, as we see many goalkeepers do. It's not easy to go up in that crowd and especially go out there, get up in the air and exposed like that.
She still hasn't gotten off the ground yet, so she's probably throbbing if her nose is bleeding. I'm sure it's one of those types.
See our field side seats there, our front row seats. That's our VIP area. Now taking a look at the SkyBlue club as they await for this game to restart.
There's a lot of fans here today, a lot of dads here. Happy Father's Day to all the dads bringing their kids for a nice evening of Father's Day soccer.
Yeah, pretty good night. No, not too hot, certainly not cold. Yeah, the Breakers are back in action on June the 26th, so they'll have more than a week off before they play Seattle Reign here, and then SkyBlue again here at Dilboy Stadium. Meanwhile, SkyBlue will be at home next Saturday to take on Portland, which, if they hold on to this game, would be a battle of first-place teams, as Portland beat Seattle earlier today 2-0 to go to 8-2-1. Chicago knocked off FC Kansas City as well today, 3-1.
Chicago is moving up a little bit. They beat the Breakers the last time those two teams met up, and then today.
Now 3-5-2 on the season. We've talked about on a couple occasions how the two teams without the international players, LaRue, O'Reilly, Wilkinson, and Leone, missing for the Breakers, as LaRue and O'Reilly were part of the U.S. national team yesterday at Gillette Stadium, not too far away from here in Foxborough, beating South Korea 4-1. 13,035 in attendance at that one. Goals by Christy Mewis, Lauren Cheney, Carly Lloyd, and Abby Wambach.
And it was also great to see the Boston Breakers actually, the rest of the team went.
They were there, right.
And supported their national teammates. So, everyone supporting each other in this league, and that's what's so great about it.
And then as far as the Canadian national team, they play Wednesday at Germany, in Germany. And that's where Lyon and Wilkinson will be. And hopefully when these two teams play for the third time in 2 weeks from today, we'll have the full complement of players on either side. As, of course, SkyBlue without their team captain, the U.S. team captain, Christy Rampone.
But we mentioned neither team is using the lack of their Canadian team and U.S. team members as an excuse to play poorly today.
We'll take a look at what happened to Alyssa Nair here. She's being worked on the field. This was a corner kick just a couple of minutes ago. And she went up and looks like she may have hit the back of the head of. Try to get the idea on the player there, but it's, as you can see, she got the back of the head. Whoever that was for SkyBlue, she was may have been Ranhel. I think
it was Ranhel.
She was
holding
rubbing
the
back of her head because it looked like she may have gotten Nair's nose and face off the back of her head. And so they've been working on her nose and her face for about now 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. And these kind of things kind of take the momentum out of the game, and it's important that the players stay loose, stay warmed up, and, you know, when play does restart, they need to pick back up and get back into things just where they left off.
If you're just checking in the first half, 9th minute, Lisa Devanna scored for SkyBlue. Then they went up 2-0 in the 26th minute. Monica Ocampo scoring her first goal. She also had her first assist of the season on the Devanna goal. So it was 2-0 at halftime. Breakers got on the board in the 60th minute. Joanna Lohman, the header, off of a cross from Julie King. And then SkyBlue, though, able to regain the 2-goal advantage in the 70th minute. Katie Friels scoring on an assist by Denisha Adams on a pass that went from the far left side through the legs of the defender McNeil and just found Friels in the middle of the box or a couple yards into it, and more or less was one-on-one with Nair. And Nair couldn't get to it, and now Nair looks like she's ready to get back into action, and looks like has the bleeding stopped, whether it was the nose or her mouth. Looked to be her nose. So we had about 6 minutes of time there with Nair being worked on.
Yeah, glad she's okay, glad it wasn't a concussion, and glad she's back up taking that goal kick.
So we'll have a pretty considerable amount of stoppage time, as we are now officially 84 minutes in.
And we know that
when Sanderson goes down, I think she slipped on the ball.
We know that on this field there has been some significant plays in stoppage time in that first game. Sydney LaRue and
first game of the season, right? On opening night, it looked like the Breakers were going to lose 1-0 to Washington, and LaRue scoring in stoppage time. Is that pass Simon? The shot, though, not enough space there at the post as Cameron gobbles it up.
And then the last game, Western New York scored in stoppage time. So anything can happen.
Yeah, the Breakers have done it themselves and had it happen to them, so they know how it feels on both sides to have a stoppage time goal alter a win to a tie. Or the opening night, it was a loss to a tie with the late goal by Sydney LaRue. See if the Breakers can make a late charge again, but this time they need 2 goals to do so. Johnson up the sideline. Ranhel can't get to it. Whitehill there instead. Plays it back for Nair, who has it blocked by Ranhel and out. Oof. And Ranhel took that right off the legs. That can't feel too good. Off the knee and the thigh.
Ranhel and Nair are really getting familiar with each other.
Lohman with some space. Now Maddie Evans looking for room for a cross. Pulls up, finds the space, tucked towards that corner, and then shot high by Simon as it came loose.
Simon was in the perfect spot to have that. She just didn't get the perfect foot on that.
Good setup there by Maddie Evans.
So Boston needs to get this ball off the corner kick and keep pushing forward.
87th minute. Ranhel taps it to Ocampo, who has a goal and an assist. King heads it away. Stepping in to get it, Schepfer leaves it off to space to Sanderson. Sending it through to Simon. She's onside. Simon against Cameron. Shot in. Cameron came out to clear it away.
That was a great job by Cameron. She got big there and cut off any angle Simon had. It's a good chance.
And now whistle.
It's a handball, I think, on Friels. So here we go. We'll see what Boston can do with this opportunity.
Simon with a couple of chances in the last few moments. Could very well be 3-2. Skied into the air. They wait for it to come down. Going to get the second ball, Sanderson. And now able to gain control. So Campo against Sanderson goes out, and throw in for SkyBlue. So we're coming close to the 90-minute mark, but just a few minutes ago, of course, we had the about 5 minutes of time where Melissa Nair was being worked on after really mashing her face into the back of the head of SkyBlue player, Naeli Ranhel, and so had some bleeding from the nose and mouth area that has been stopped. So we'll see how much stoppage time we end up having in a couple of minutes. Breakers will obviously take any extra second they can get, down by 2. The crowd doing their part, trying to get the Breakers going as Maddie Evans gains the throw-in, quickly gets it in, and looks like it went off the hand of Simon, and they do whistle it down. For a second, I thought she was going to get away with it. I was just waiting to see where the advantage went.
You know, and here, SkyBlue's going to waste some time, try and slow the game down.
I believe after the game, no matter the result, we'll have Alex Sims on the field with some post-game interviews, so you should stay tuned for those. As Katie Schepfer gets it to Sanderson. SkyBlue, though, defensively, they're going to be strong right now. They know they just need to play good defense for the next 5 or so minutes with the stoppage time coming. There's the center, and it gets deflected wide.
I think Evans should have been more towards that far post right there. She was a little too far off the goal, but you see Boston has pushed up most of their players. Key McNeil was the one on the side with that cross.
So we're coming up officially to 90 minutes and waiting for the stoppage time and how much extra there will be for the Breakers to work with, down by a pair. The crowd again trying to do what they can. 7 minutes of stoppage time, so that's plenty. It's certainly the most we've seen in any game here so far. So 7 minutes of stoppage time for the Breakers to score 2 and steal a tie potentially. And obviously for SkyBlue, you know, you got 7 minutes that have to play strong defensively.
And Coach Jim, he did note that he thinks defense is his team's strongest asset. They defend as a team.
Lohman taps it for King, who's stepping up. She had an assist on the Lohman goal. Trying to do more. Sends it towards the far side of the box. It's headed out. Noguera stumbles down, and it'll come back. Kia McNeil. McNeil with some speed and some space. Sending it towards Dragata there, but it gets through to Cameron.
She's had 2 good crosses in the last minute or so.
So unofficially about 6 minutes remaining in the stoppage time. Total of 7. SkyBlue led 2-0 at halftime. Breakers got on the board in the 60th minute. Joanna Lohman from Julie King, but 10 minutes later, Katie Friels gave Sky Blue the 2-goal advantage back. Sky Blue looking to go 2-0 against the Breakers this season. Breakers are in danger of being winless in their last 4 matches.
And this would be their first loss at home, too.
Substitution here for Boston. It looks like Joe Dragata is going to be coming out of the match.
That's Howarth coming in.
And Katie Howarth coming in for her 4th appearance of the season. Lohman. And that goes off the top of the net. Trying to cross it. And Cameron will take her time. She came in with a league-high 5 shutouts. Won't get the shutout here today, but has played strong.
She's so far allowed 9 goals this season.
9 goals in 11 starts. That's if you're gonna pick a number to have, that you want to have less than games played in terms of goals, and she's got that. So less than a goal a game averaged. Came in with 38 saves to lead the league. Howarth trying to get it to Schepfer.
Boston's just trying to get anything they can on goal at this point.
Approximately 5 minutes, or 4 minutes unofficially by our little count here left in stoppage time. Obviously that's not to the second, as we just announced a sellout crowd of 2,687 here at Dilboy Stadium. Every seat filled here on that near side. Our far side stands, we had them open for 1 game, and unfortunately have not been able to be open the last couple of matches. Those are new addition as of a couple of weeks ago. Hoping to get those filled as the season goes on.
And I think Lindsay Lizombe Cutshaw just came in the game for Sky Blue.
There's a header and it's in, and the Breakers have got back within 1. Sent right there in. Now the Breakers are going to grab the ball, rush back to midfield and want to restart. 3-2.
Yeah, they want to get this going as quickly as possible and see if they can, if there's enough time left for 1 more attempt.
We'll see if we can quickly recall that for our viewers, but of course with a couple of minutes left, we don't want to miss a quick restart. Here it is, we're back underway. So 3-2. We have a couple of more minutes unofficially remaining in stoppage time. There were 7. And let's check out the replay of the goal here. That made it 3-2. And we apologize, we'll have to come back to action. We'll try to get that for you.
And Ocampo did leave the game. Cutshaw came in as her replacement.
So it's 3-2. Breakers looking potentially to steal another tie on their home field like they did on opening night.
You've got to think there's only enough time for 1 or 2 more chances for Boston. So
now able to see the replay off the corner kick, and it was Kaya Simon. Second goal of the season for Simon off the corner kick from Schepfer in stoppage time. Couple of more minutes remaining unofficially here in stoppage time from our tally. Breakers were down 1-0 in stoppage time and opening out against Washington and scored late. Sydney LaRue. Breakers had it happen to themselves a couple of weeks ago where they were up by a goal in the 93rd minute and ended up tying with Western New York. See if the Breakers can steal a point somehow as Cameron comes in, intercepts that. Again after the game, We're hopeful that Alex Sims, our sideline reporter, will be able to have a couple of post-game interviews, so we hope that you stay tuned for those as this week of NWSL action coming to a close here in Boston.
Breakers fans, our next home game will be June 26th versus Seattle Reign and Hope Solo. Get your tickets online at breakerstickets.com or call 617-945-1704. Tickets are selling fast.
SkyBlue will throw that one down the sideline and trying to take as much time as they can. And quickly played in by Nair.
And there's no one on this side for SkyBlue, so King has a lot of time.
King gets to Evans. And that's going to do it. So just not enough time for the Breakers as SkyBlue comes away with a 3-2 victory. The crowd here, though, going to salute both teams, as the Breakers will fall to 3-4-3 on the season. And SkyBlue FC goes back into a first-place tie with the Portland Thorns at 8-2-1. Goals in this game of the first half for SkyBlue. It was in the 9th minute, Lisa Devana. 26th minute, Monica Ocampo. And then in the 70th minute, Katie Friel scoring for SkyBlue. The first Breakers goal came in the 60th minute, Joanna Lohman. And then they scored again in stoppage time. Don't have the official number. We'll say 95th minute or so. It was Kaya Simon scoring to make it 3-2, but not enough time for the Breakers. As we want you to keep it here, we'll have some post-game interviews with Alex Sims on the field.
I think Boston is going to be disappointed, obviously, coming away with the loss. You can't give up 2 goals and expect to come back from that one. And then also, I think SkyBlue is going to be a little disappointed in themselves, too, for allowing that late goal in this game. But, you know, it was a tough match, and both, you know, Boston was in it until the very end right there. So, unfortunately, on the losing end of this one.
So the Breakers lose their first home match of the season, 2-1-2 at home on the season. And we talked about in this game some Australian connection with Kaya Simon on the Breakers. And on SkyBlue, a couple of Australians as well, Caitlin Ford, as well as Lisa Devana. We're hopeful that Alex Sims is actually going to try for a dual interview, I believe, with Simon and Ford. As you see, the Breakers are kind of over in to salute the crowd. They fought hard in the second half, trying to get back in.
Yeah, they wanted to win this one for the home fans, and there's a lot of fans here. They were in it, you know, they were excited the entire time. Unfortunately, for the people who came to this one, it was not the result that they wanted.
Breakers will have now a lot of time off, 9 days in between games. They'll play on June the 26th. Hope Solo, Seattle Reign FC will be here at Dilboy Stadium on Wednesday, June 26th. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. And then a third game on the homestand will be against this same SkyBlue FC team Sunday, June the 30th, a 6:30 kickoff. SkyBlue, after having their 5-game winning streak snap, they win here tonight. And they'll play at home Saturday against Portland, a battle of first-place teams in that one between Portland and SkyBlue.
The 9 days off does give Boston a lot of time to think and reflect about this game. They're disappointed in themselves. They're disappointed in the result. But, you know, they don't want to lose at home. They don't want to lose again. No one likes to lose anyway, so they're going to get back into it, and hopefully next home game, next go-around, they come out with the win.
We hope you continue to hang with us here as the players go through a little bit of a quick post-game stretch and quick meeting before we can have any access to some post-game interviews. So we're going to keep it here and hope that we can get a word with maybe a player from each side for the Breakers and for SkyBlue FC. As you see walking off the field here, that's Alyssa Nair with a towel back to her face. As again, we saw her, she was down on the field for about 5 minutes being tended to after on a corner kick going up trying to punch the ball away. She did her job, but she also collided with the back of the head of Nayeli Rangel and looked to kind of get her nose and her mouth bashed in a little bit there, and hopefully she'll be okay. Hopefully, I know obviously, you know, this type of situation now you always are fearful of concussion type of problems, and I'm sure, obviously they would do some type of test on the field, but I'm also pretty sure they'll go back and they'll double check and make sure that everything is okay there for Alyssa Nair, because you don't want any type of reoccurrence of that type of problem with her. So hopefully for her it's just a bloody nose, maybe a broken nose, but that's probably one of the more popular injuries that you're going to get in soccer.
And she stepped up big today. She had 2 pretty huge saves in that second half, and yeah, she did allow a goal, but she kept Boston in it at the end. And it was her first appearance for the Breakers, so hopefully we'll see more of her in the future.
Scott Sudikoff alongside Maddie Sadler here on the post game as the Breakers beat SkyBlue FC 3-1. Still awaiting Alex Sims on the field. She's ready to go, but still waiting for her guests to be ushered over to her for some post game comments as the Breakers fall to SkyBlue FC 3-1 here tonight at Dilboy Stadium. And SkyBlue continues to be on a roll at 8-2-1 and 5-1-0 away from home. They play in Piscataway, New Jersey at Rutgers University. They'll be back there on Saturday to play Portland. As you take a look at the Breakers post-game stretch, Joanna Lohman there in the middle. She was the goal scorer for the Breakers in the 60th minute, her second of the season, scoring off a beautiful cross by, it was Julie King on the cross, her first assist of the season for Julie King. That was really a very well played pass from King, and
yeah,
the goal there.
That wasn't a cheap goal at all. It was a perfect pass by King. Lohman was in the perfect position, got her head on it, and Cameron didn't have a chance to stop that one. So
we'll be able to take a look at that. The second goal for the Breakers that came in stoppage time off of a corner kick from Katie Schepfer. You see it here. This was about 5 minutes into stoppage time to make it 3-2. Kaya Simon there right at the top of the 6, just outside of it, able to head it in for her second goal of the season.
And that's where Schepfer wanted to nail that corner kick, right in the middle. Simon was right there for that. So both goals for the Breakers were good goals. They were not cheap goals. They were team goals. It was a good effort, to get the ball on that, and unfortunately the result was not what they wanted.
See if we can maybe go back and show you that first goal for the Breakers that came in the 60th minute from Joanna Lohman. We just mentioned that beautiful feed from Julie King, and both goals today for the Breakers coming off of headers. As we take a look at the goal from Lohman earlier today, her second of the season. Good job here initially by Maddie Evans to set up King for this perfectly placed pass.
And Lohman timed her run on net perfectly too.
So at the time, that made that 2-1, and about 10 minutes later, though, is when SkyBlue reassumed their 2-goal advantage. Katie Friels scoring her first goal of the season in the 70th minute. And so the Breakers fall today, and they're now 3-4-3 on the season, and they stay at 12 points, and for the time being, still in 5th place, 1 point ahead of Chicago. And meanwhile, SkyBlue 8-2-1. They are tied with 8-2-1 Portland, and they play on Saturday. That'll be a match to watch in the league. And then in a couple of weeks, they will have the first national broadcast of the NWSL national television broadcast on the Fox Soccer Channel, July 14th. Seattle will play Washington, and Breakers will make their debut on the final day of the season, August 17th at Western New York. And then both of the semifinals of the league will be on the Fox Soccer Channel on August 24th, the championship match on August 31st. And that will wrap up the inaugural NWSL season. And we showed Alyssa Nair walking off earlier with the towel to her face. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to her again off this corner kick in the 77th minute. And it looks like it looked as if her face just went right into the back of the head of Nayeli Rangel. You saw kind of rubbing the back of her head, fixing her her hair there. And
she was down for quite some time.
That's what led to, we had 7 minutes of stoppage time, which gave the Breakers a chance after the 90-minute mark to get that goal from Simon and then have an opportunity to potentially tie this one, but the SkyBlue defense a little too strong in the end. A good effort tonight by Brittany Cameron. Has gave up a couple goals above her average on the season, but I don't think she'll complain as she's now 8-2-1 on the season.
And she's been the rock in the goal for SkyBlue. She has started every single game. She's got a lot of experience, played with the Flash last season. She is also a coach at Niagara. She's coached at Niagara University, San Diego University, and Dartmouth. So she's a leader. She knows the game really well, and she's a great asset to the SkyBlue FC.
So the Breakers fall again today, 3-2 to SkyBlue. And we're still holding out hope for some post-game comments from somebody on the field there with Alex Sims. Anybody. So we'll keep it here, and we hope you hang with us just a little bit longer if you're interested in some post-game comments. And again, if you are hanging on with us, we thank you for watching today's broadcast on Media Boss Television. And for those of you that took part in our initial jump into some Twitter conversation using the hashtag BreakersTV, and we enjoyed your questions and your comments and your corrections
and that's something
things of that nature.
We're going to continue for the rest of our home games,
yeah,
our home broadcasts.
We'll continue with that with our broadcast here from Dilboy Stadium, and you can actually, you can use the hashtag, on an off day. If something comes to your mind that you would like to send our way, and always use that hashtag BreakersTV, and of course, you can follow Breakers on Twitter at Boston Breakers. The league is at NWSL, so plenty of ways to follow this league on Twitter. All the teams are on Twitter, and
a lot of the players have Twitters.
I would say 90% of the Breakers players are on Twitter themselves, and
they interact a lot too with fans. So it's a great way to send a shout out to your favorite player, to let them know what's going on.
We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, but for myself and Maddie, we're going to sign off now for the day, and we'll be back 10 days from now when Hope Solo will be in town for Seattle, taking on the Boston Breakers. So for Maddie Sadler, I'm Scott Sudikoff, the rest of our Media Boss Television crew, we thank you for tuning in. Keep yourself tuned in, as Alex Sims will have some post-game interviews in just a few moments here from Dilboy Stadium. Once again, the final score today, SkyBlue FC 3, the Boston Breakers 2. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Kai Simon, Caitlin Ford, obviously both of you really close friends and also played together in Australia. Now, how did it feel to play against each other tonight?
Yeah, it's definitely a different environment playing against Caitlin over here in the US. But, when we're on the field, we try to treat each other like any other player, and, it's all left out on the field. So it's enjoyable to see another Aussie teammate on the field, but, what happens on the field stays on the field.
Caitlin, how about you?
Yeah, it's definitely different. We're always teammates in Sydney and on the Australian team. So when we have been going against each other, it has been a bit weird. But, it's just another game, and we just play it like it's any other game.
Okay, I have to ask you, not the end result that you wanted, lost by 1. What positives did you get out of this game tonight?
I feel like it's a little bit too early to really evaluate the game, but I'm sure we'll go back to the drawing board this week and have a look at the video and see some of the things that we did well, and then some of the things that obviously we can improve on for the Seattle game. But it's always hard. It's always hard losing games and disappointing, but it means we can always improve.
Great, thanks, girls.